Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to our webinar. Happy Sunday, everyone. Okay, we still have 9 minutes before we start. I just want to know, is there anyone here on Zoom who does... Oops. Who does not know how to speak Tagalog? If there's anyone here who doesn't know how to speak Tagalog, please say English only on our chat box. There you go. Okay. So for today's webinar, it's going to be an English only webinar since we have guests who doesn't know how to speak in Filipino. And I think we also have um, a lot of viewers from YouTube who also doesn't know how to speak in Tagalog. So yeah, okay. So before we start, this is the fifth and the last part of our free webinar series. We're going to talk about how you are going to find your clients online if you're trying to look for direct clients. If you want to see the parts 1 to 4 of our series, you can go to our YouTube channel. Just search Mia Juan or at Mia Juan on YouTube, and you can see all of the previous videos that we have on our live webinars. Good afternoon, everyone. Last week or last time on the 4th episode of our 5-day series, we talked about creating your online profiles. So now that if you attended or you were able to watch our previous episode on the 4th episode, you now have an idea how to create your own profiles. Yes, yeah, I know we do have guests here on Zoom who does not know how to speak Tagalog. So this is going to be an English only session. Hold on. Okay, so we still have 6 minutes before we start. We're still waiting for people to join in. I hope you guys are enjoying your weekend and you guys are ready for another work week tomorrow. Our viewers on YouTube, we have very few viewers right now on YouTube. We only have 4 people who's watching. Good afternoon and happy Sunday, everyone. Okay, 5 minutes more. While we're waiting, let me just give you a little bit of background of what we're going to discuss today. So the first part of our session will be discussing the different professionals or different industries where you can find your clients, and the client acquisition roadmap. So each step that you will take from sending out your portfolio to sending out your very first invoice, we will also discuss that today. Last on our last webinar, I know I also taught you how to create your assets, like creating your portfolios, your proposals, your invoice, your contract. We went through all of those what's this? All of those details last time. Okay, 3 minutes more. Good afternoon, everyone. People on YouTube, good afternoon. I hope you're having a dry Sunday because right now, here where I am, it's now raining. And I live in Marikina, so if anyone here is from the Philippines, you definitely know. Marikina is prone to flooding. So I hope it doesn't rain too hard today. 2 minutes more before we start. Welcome, everyone. Wow, we have people watching from Jamaica. Hi. Good afternoon. Yes, oh there we have what's this, viewers from Antipolo. Hello there. Sorry, my energy is quite low today compared to our other webinars. We're just not what's this? We are under the weather. Oh. Where can we view the replays? You can view it on our YouTube channel. All you have to do is go to, hold on. Let me post our links. One moment. We also have people from Nigeria. Hi, everyone. Here is from Malawi. Malawi is from the Philippines, or no? Thank you so much for being here. From Cebu, hello, everybody. Oh, Malawi is Africa. Okay, okay, okay. Thankful for sharing your Sunday. Thank you. We have 1 more minute. Good afternoon from Caloocan and Cebu. Tanzania, wow. Wow. I'm very humbled from Tanzania. Wow. I'm very, very happy we have people from different parts of the world. Hello. Thank you for being here. This is the last was this leg of our free five part webinar. Okay, so here we go. Let us start now. For today's video, good afternoon, everybody. For today's webinar, we're going to talk about how to book your clients. We're going to focus on booking your clients if you're looking for a direct client, because when we when you decide to really focus on or to transition into freelancing and become a virtual assistant or an executive virtual assistant, there are two roads that you can take. One is to look for a direct client, and another one is to apply to an agency. Now, applying with applying at an agency, all you have to do is send your resume, make sure that you are was this you're qualified based on their qualification list. So it will be a little bit easier in compared to looking for a direct client. And most of us really prefer looking for a direct client because you're definitely going to earn more compared to when you apply to an agency. Because when you apply to an agency, you're only what's this um your salary will be based, or your earning will be based on their salary bracket, compared to when looking for a direct client, you can give whatever rate you feel like you deserve. So have more freedom with in terms of the income that you're going to get. But both of them do have, if you're going to ask me which is better, applying in an agency or looking for a direct client, for me they are both the same. No one's better than the other because it really depends on what you are looking for. They both have the same level of pros and cons. um like for example, with direct you can earn as much as you want. With an agency, you are bound by whatever salary they offer, but they will be the one to look for a client for you. When you're looking for a direct client, you will be the one looking for your own clients. You can take your leave anytime you want if your client allows you to. With an agency, you have to ask permission from your operations manager. You have leave credits that you need to follow. So they both have the same number of pros and cons. Like I said, no one is better than the other. It's just really up to you to what you like. Personally, for me, I like being part of an agency. But if given a chance, if I'll take a direct client versus an agency, I'd still choose my being with an agency compared to being with a client. But it's a different story for somebody else. So it's just really up to you. But for our session for today, since it's harder to look for your own direct clients, we're going to focus on that. Well, that was a long introduction, but anyway, again, good afternoon. So let's start on how you're going to look for or book your clients. The first thing that we're going to learn right now is, of course, get to know your client profiles, or get to know the different types of client that you can target as an executive virtual assistant or as a general virtual assistant. So first up on our list is the most common uh client target client that we have, which is the CEO. Now, when we say CEO, this not just focuses on the CEO, but these focuses on C-level executives. When we say C-level executives, anyone that starts with a C, CEO, COO, CMO, CFO, all of those chief executive level executives. Those are our number one target market. Why are they the number one target market? Because we can handle different parts of their lives, whether it be their professional, we can be an assistant at the office setting, or we can also do personal stuff for them. So what we can also offer with the CEOs is that we can sell ourselves as someone who can help and assist them to focus on help and assist them in making sure that we can take on the small parts of their lives so they can focus on the bigger picture. Sorry, somebody says that you're not seeing the slides. What? Hold on. Sorry, but thank you for letting me know. One moment. Let me. Okay. Can you see the photo of the CEO now? Perfect. Okay. Thank you so much for letting me know. Wonderful. Okay, perfect. So here we have again, you're meeting the CEO. Here he is. So you can sell yourself as someone who can make sure that they can focus on their professional or their goals while you focus on the little not less important, but the little stuff that you can delegate to yourselves. Where will you be able to find these CEOs? You can find them mostly on LinkedIn. Later I'll show you how we can look for these clients on LinkedIn, or how you're going to search. Okay. Hold on. Okay, so that's our CEO. Next up on our list are doctors. So doctors usually have assistants already in their clinics, but we can help them still with their personal lives. And most of the assistants that they have really just focuses on on a specific clinic, and the assistants assist not just one doctor but multiple doctors that are working in that specific clinic. So we can come in as virtual executive assistants or general virtual assistants so that we can help them mostly on their personal lives, like assisting in their travel, making sure we can manage their household, assist in their inbox, and the like. Why are doctors are n- why are doctors our target? Because they are very busy with their work. So mm, you have to focus on their problem whenever you're selling yourself to them. Like, for example, with doctors, you know that they would rarely have enough time to do any personal stuff, or they would probably miss a birthday of a family member or a friend. So you'll sell yourself like telling them, hi, you know what, I can help you with making sure that you still keep in touch with your family and friends by reminding you about their birthdays, being the one to send out gifts or greetings to their family and friends, reminding them about maybe a recital or a party that they have to go to, so that they don't, because these people, they want to be able to still balance their work and their personal life. So we can come in and make sure that we can help them do that. So that's going to be your approach with the doctors. Where will you find these doctors? They are mostly on LinkedIn, and some of them are in Facebook. Some of them are also in Instagram, especially if they're marketing their clinic on Instagram. And some doctors, I also see them quite active on TikTok or YouTube, like creating their own content as well. So you can or just approach them from those different platforms. Later, we'll show you how to search these people. Oh, and you can also find them on Yelp. I just haven't updated it here, but Yelp is another platform that is abundant with potential clients for all of us. Later, I will share my screen and show you how we can look for them. The next set of industry or professionals that you can target as as an executive virtual assistant are lawyers. Now you're going to say, aren't there a specific niche for this, like legal VAs? Yes, there is a specific niche that deals with really assisting lawyers in terms of their business and their work, like with their paperworks and all of those things. If you want to be like that, you can definitely learn that niche. But if you just want to really focus on being an executive virtual assistant, then you can offer your services to lawyers just the same as the way you offer yourself or your services to a doctor, wherein you make sure that you tell them that you will be able to help them balance their personal and their professional lives. Check po checked with Yelp but unavailable. Sometimes Yelp works if you have VPN, you can try and install Windscribe as your VPN, just in case. Wind Scribe there. Windscribe VPN, just in case Yelp doesn't work on your browser. Where can you find lawyers? You can definitely find most of them on LinkedIn and on Yelp as well. Okay, so guys, oh, Tracy, you're here. Hold on. Sorry, one moment. There you go. Okay, perfect. Okay, so Windscribe is free. Yes. Windscribe is a free VPN. You just have to choose the city or state that has free VPN. Okay. You can even watch YouTube, no, not YouTube, Netflix on different parts, or US Netflix by using Windscribe. That's what I used before. Okay. Next set of professionals that you can target are influencers. Now, you're going to say, why target influencers? Aren't they supposed to have their own agents and managers? Well, what we're going to target, or who the influencers that we're going to target are your um what's this, beginner influencers, those who doesn't have big of a following but are still trying to make it in the influencing platform or industry. So these are the people that you can target, especially if you're someone who is interested in social media management, but you don't know how to do social media management. Yes, yet. So you can begin by being an executive virtual assistant or a general virtual assistant to influencers. So you can market yourself as someone who can do their inbox management or calendar management, booking flights, hotels, anything that has to do with travel. You can also even market yourself as their virtual manager. Since you already know how to do meetings, calendar management, and inbox management, and all of those things, you can definitely position yourself as someone who can take care of them. Where to find these influencers? Of course, through all of the different social media platforms, from Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook. Next set of was this professionals that you can target, especially if you're someone who has background in the restaurant industry or in the hospitality industry. You can definitely target chefs. Now, you have to understand that chefs in the US are very different from our usual chefs here or cooks here in the Philippines. We have a lot of celebrity chefs and really chefs who owns what is very bougie, expensive restaurants. So these are these are people who you can target as where you will sell yourself as a GVA or EVA, because they have very, very busy lives as well. They're just like similar to doctors and lawyers who rarely have time for their personal lives. I have a very, that's why I included this in the list, because I have a very good friend. He is a chef. He's not even a celebrity chef in the US, but he's a famous chef based in Florida. And he is so busy. He rarely has time with his kids, with his wife. So, these are, people that you can definitely offer your services to make sure that you can handle their calendar, because they do have a lot of bookings. If they have um private dinners or events, they do handle their own bookings. They do handle their own inbox in terms of the inquiries. So you can definitely provide your services as a virtual assistant. Where are you gonna find the chefs? They do have a lot of Yelp is the number one place to go. And then we have Instagram. LinkedIn can be something that you can probably check out if they do have, but they are more active on Instagram because they do have their own page where they market their services, and of course on Yelp. Some chefs are also active on other social media platforms such as TikTok and YouTube, especially if they create content also. So you can also look for them there. But top two places or top places to go to, top places to look for chefs are Instagram and Yelp. Next one is real estate agents. Now you're gonna say, why are real estate agents? Don't we have Reva already or real estate VAs? Now I do have a lot of friends who are real estate VAs, and they only focus on real estate stuff for their clients. Like what's this documents, lead generation, calling the customers or potential clients. So these are the things that they do, but they don't do any personal stuff for their client, like inbox management. They don't have access to their clients' inbox. They don't have, some of them doesn't have access to their client's calendar or personal calendar per se. So you can real estate agents are very busy also, so you can focus on their personal lives while the real estate agents can focus on on the business side. Now, where can you find real estate agents? You can find them on LinkedIn, but they are now very active on social media platforms such as TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook, because they use these platforms to sell their services and to sell the houses that they're selling. So you can find them there, and you can start pitching your portfolio to these real estate agents. Like I mentioned, later I'm going to show you how you're going to engage with using the different platforms. And last but definitely not the least is your small business owners. Now, with the small business owners, they can be in different types of industry, such as wedding and events. You have your photographers, florists, bakers, small coffee shop owners. You also have your plumbers, electricians, makeup artists, small restaurant owners. These are the people that you can definitely target because they are very busy building their business, that they don't have time to do anything else. So you can come in as someone who can help them with um, other stuff that they don't have time to do, so that they can focus on growing their business. You can also come in as someone who will be able to help them grow their business, like be their assistant in their maybe small restaurant, or helping them booking clients as on their makeup hair and makeup artist business. Now, where can you find these small business owners? You can definitely find most of them, if not all, on Yelp. Some of them might be on LinkedIn if they are active, but basically with LinkedIn, the most active people on there are your CEOs, startup owners. When I say startup owners, these are the ones who are on Silicon Valley. When I say Silicon Valley, this is where Silicon Valley is a part of San Francisco, California. It is where you will find the offices or headquarters of Meta, Google, Apple, Amazon. So this is where most of the big IT companies, software companies, something like that. So you can definitely find most of the CEOs and directors and managers of those big companies on LinkedIn. And then you can also find your lawyers and your doctors there. Okay. So those are your the different types of professionals that you can look for. excuse me, before we go to the client acquisition roadmap, or the process of engaging with your client initially up until sending out your first invoice, let's go to the different social media platforms, so that I can show you guys, hold on, how to look for your clients. Hold on. Let me just share my screen. Okay, can you guys see my screen on LinkedIn? Yes, perfect. Okay. Okay. So how will you find your clients or your potential clients on LinkedIn? You're going to make use of the search bar. Now, for example, you're looking for, let's say, a lawyer. Okay. Just click on that general term lawyer, and then we will filter them out. Okay. So you can have your lawyers, but these lawyers are your first and second or third connects, or yeah, that's what I think that's the right term. But we're going to but this is in the Philippines. So we need to what's this look for lawyers in the US. So what you're going to do is going to all filters, and then go to United States. And then you can see if you want to use different hashtags. Okay. Since this is US, the current company right now will be focused on Philippine market. So you can just hit on show results first. So these are the different lawyers that tag themselves as lawyers here in what's this? Here in LinkedIn. So you can already check out their profiles and then see if you'd like to connect with them. What I usually do with this is I just create a database on Google Sheets with their names and then the link to their LinkedIn profile. And then if they have a contact info here, probably their email and Twitter or something like that. So no, they don't. So you can just connect with them on LinkedIn. Okay. Oops. There. Okay. So if you want to still refine your search, you can also there. You can also check out what's his past company. You can also even search which company they're working for. Like for example, a Meta lawyer. Maybe we can find someone who worked in Facebook. There. So you have tech lawyer, lawyer at Instagram, their privacy lawyer at Meta. So these are the people who are very high up in the industry and in that specific company. So you can definitely target them and ask them if they are looking to hire an executive virtual assistant. So it's very easy here on LinkedIn. All you have to do is just make sure that you optimize your search bar in terms of the filters. Okay. Next up, another platform that you're going to use to look for clients is Instagram. If you don't have Instagram yet, it's high time that you create one, because when last time we talked about how to optimize your Instagram profile. Once you optimize your Instagram profile, most of the clients will actually be approaching you, and you won't have a hard time looking for clients on Instagram. They'll just fall into your DMs and ask, "Hey, I see that you are an executive virtual assistant. Can I hire you as my VA or EVA?" Okay. But if, for example, you haven't optimized your profile yet on Instagram, but you already want to start searching for clients. Now, let's say your background is, or what you're going to do is you're going to search in an industry specific type of way of searching. When I say industry specific, remember when other content creators always tell you online that before you decide to be a virtual assistant, or before you decide to dive into freelancing, you must know what your niche is first. Now, we're going to reverse that, and we're going to use that in terms of looking for a client. Before you start looking for a client, the first thing that you're going to do is find out what specific niche or industry you want to target, the type of clients that you want to target. So, for example, me, I have a background in weddings and events planning. So, I want to target clients who are also in wedding and events, because it's something that I already know how to do. So, it's going to be very easy for me to provide assistance and tell them that this is my expertise. I have a background in events planning, so I'll definitely be able to assist you in your business or in your personal life. So what we're going to do, or how you're going to do it, is here on, you also make use of your search, and then make use of your hashtags. So for example, you're looking for a wedding planner in California. So use hashtag wedding planner California. And here we have 1,390 posts for wedding planner California. So that's a very, very small market in terms of them using that hashtag. So here you have the different profiles who used that hashtag. So some of them would definitely be a wedding planner in California. Okay, so you can only see a few. Probably the other tags are in private. That's why we can't view them. So let's just click on one. Let's see if she is a wedding planner. Okay, so she's not a wedding planner, but she does wedding design and concept for weddings, like creating layouts for weddings. Okay, so from this one, you know that she focuses on wedding clients. So you can definitely, or I can definitely market myself as, or I can definitely get this as a client. So what I'm going to do before sending out or dropping into her DMs is I'm going to check out the most recent post. So these are pinned posts. These are not recent posts, the top 3. So if this is her recent post, she posted this 3 days ago. So what we're going to do is we're going to like and we're going to comment. Okay. And then of course, you're going to follow them as well. Okay. And you're going to do that for the next probably 3 days, just liking and commenting on their post, especially if you see there's just few people who are commenting. So it's very important that you can also comment immediately so that they can see that, oh, someone commented on my post, and they will be able to notice your profile already. So just do that in the next few days, maybe 2 to 3 days. And then once you've done your engagement, you can already start sending them a direct message. Now, since she has a link in bio, you can check this out also to find out their email. You can send them a DM. When you send them a DM, you just tell them that hi, I'm Mia. I was checking out, or you can say, hi, I'm Mia. I've been following you for the past few days, and I see that you have great, was this eye in design. Um, I just wanted to see if you're looking for a virtual assistant. I can definitely help you with this and that. Focus on their probably what you think their pain point is. Maybe you can focus on telling them, I can help you grow your business to get more bookings as your virtual assistant and all of those things. Now, sometimes when they're not following you back, they will fall on their requests, message requests. So they might not see it immediately. So if you are able to do your research and find their emails, then you can send them an email proposal as well. You can already include your portfolio and the, of course, your proposal in that email. So that's how you engage with your target client on Instagram. It's very important, guys, to engage first, because when they see that you just, sent them a message out of the blue, they'll feel like you're just really dropping you're just really dropping your portfolio on whoever you see on Instagram. Um, it's very nice, for example, I am a potential client. It's nice for me to see that you are engaging on my past few posts, because it means that you're doing your due diligence by checking out my profile. Probably you've also checked out my website. So I know that you did your research, and you, based on your research, you was just identified that I that your services is something that I would need, instead of just randomly dropping in on their DMs without even engaging with them. So that's what you do on Instagram. You can also do that on Facebook. But honestly, me, as someone who's also very active on Facebook, I've never had anyone send me a message on Facebook asking me to be to be their executive assistant. But I have received a lot of emails, or sorry, a lot of DMs on Instagram asking me if I can be their executive assistant. But since I'm not looking and I am with an agency, I really don't what's this talk to them, or I don't respond. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, so you can also do that on TikTok. You can engage with them first, and then do your research about their company, about that person, and then you can already send them your portfolio. Now, it's going to be very painful at the beginning, especially if this is your first time as a virtual assistant or as a remote worker, because of course you're going to receive a lot of um was this a lot of uh rejects. Yeah. You're going to receive a lot of them will probably be ignoring your messages, but that's fine. It's okay to, you only need one person to reply and book your services. So just what's this, you need to have a very thick skin when you're beginning your career in the freelancing or in the remote work industry. um because you have to treat this as your business, and you're selling yourself and your services. And with a business, especially if it's in the service industry, you're going to have a lot of people not wanting, or they feel like they don't need your help. Okay. I've experienced that in the weddings, as a wedding and events planner, when I was, marketing myself at the beginning, somebody who's fresh in the market. There are a lot of already existing wedding and events planner in the wedding and events industry here in the Philippines, and somebody who's very new, I have a lot of competition. So I'd drop my, what's this? My, sorry. I'll be dropping my proposals with newly engaged couples, but they will just deny. A lot of people will be inquiring, but they will just say no. Um, that's the risk that you have to take if you would like to really make it big in this remote work industry. Again, I'd like to remind you guys that as a remote worker, as a virtual assistant, you need to have a business mindset or an entrepreneur mindset. You cannot have an employee mindset with this kind of work. Even if you feel like you're applying for a job with a client, yes, you are, but you are not really applying for that job. You are offering your services. So you have to make sure that you already have that business and entrepreneur mindset, because you're going to fail at this if you only look at yourself as an employee. Okay? Um it's you're not gonna make it, you're not going to succeed, and you're not gonna like it, you're not going to enjoy it if you only think of yourself as an employee. Okay. In this kind of industry, it's very, very rewarding. Trust me. You can work anywhere. It will open a lot of doors for you. You can, especially if you start getting a lot of inquiries hiring you, even if you cannot take it anymore because you already have a lot of clients, it will open doors such as you converting it into an agency or a small agency. So it's really, really very rewarding. And the pay is really good, but you have to be ready with the fact that there will be a lot of rejections in at the beginning. Okay. I just want you guys to know that right now, since this is already the last webinar, free webinar that we're having for this year. Okay. I think we have a question. Would you recommend to create a professional IG or separate from the personal IG? Most people do professional IG accounts. Um, yes, if you are someone who's not comfortable, let's say, for example, you have a private Instagram account and you're not comfortable sharing your private life with the public, then you can definitely um which is create your a separate professional Instagram account. But for me, I just used my own Instagram account. I didn't create one, or I didn't create a professional one. I just used my own personal one. So if you can see here, it's a mix of my virtual assistant, what's this virtual assistant content, and my personal life. Okay. I did not separate it anymore. Okay. Um, where can we watch the previous 4 webinars? You can watch it on our YouTube channel. Just, I think I shared the link. Later I'll share it again. Hold on, let me see here. There. Tracy nga pala is here. Okay, so that's how you're going to search. You can use that technique on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. Okay. That's why we only have here what's this we only have LinkedIn and Instagram. That's the only thing that we're going to focus on, because for Instagram you can use that on the other social media platforms. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to proceed. Just drop your questions on our chat box. Same goes for our YouTube audience. Tracy, if you're still here, you can also copy and paste the YouTube questions on our Zoom chat box. Okay, so let's go back to our other presentation on in terms of, oops, sorry. Let me just make sure that you can see my screen. Hold on. Okay, can you see my screen that says client acquisition roadmap? Chat box. Perfect. Okay, so now that you know who your clients are, um, we're going to talk about the process or the steps that you will take from sending out your portfolio to sending out your first invoice. Okay, we have a question first. For those people who would want to enroll in your VA Academy, how many days can we finish if we enroll? So we have the paid online course. It's 16 hours worth of tutorial videos. So it's really up to you how fast you can finish those 16 hours. Since it's self-paced, you can take your time. Okay, so what is the client acquisition roadmap? This is how it looks like. You will first send your portfolio. Once they connect with you and say that, I'm interested, then you are going to book your discovery call. And then after your discovery call, based on what you discussed and what you found out that the client needs, you're going to send out your proposal. Okay. And then in your proposal, it should already include your contract, proposal and contract. And then once during this period, when you sent out your proposal, this is where the negotiation work. This is where the negotiation happens because you will send your proposal and then this is your rate. And then later we'll talk about what's included in your proposal. And then they will say, can we change this? Can you change this item number? Can you delete this in your terms and conditions? So this is where the negotiation happens. Now, once your client accepts that proposal, make sure that they sign the proposal, okay? Or they sign the proposal. After that, you send out your contract or your final contract once you're done with the negotiations. Now, once they sign your contract, then you're going to schedule your onboarding call. Without a signed contract, don't schedule your onboarding call, okay? Because you need to have that contract signed before you proceed with anything. Okay? If you're going to ask for what's this? A down payment. Okay. If your contract says that you will ask for a down payment, then you have to have the signed contract first, as well as the down payment prior to you scheduling the onboarding call. Okay. Now, once you have the signed contract and probably your down payment, then you schedule your onboarding call. We will discuss later what's included in the onboarding call. And then once you're done with the onboarding call, then you will send out your first invoice. Now, the first invoice can happen prior to your onboarding if you are asking for a down payment. Or it can happen probably after 15 days or 30 days, depending on what your payment terms are. Okay. Now take note. I just want to remind you that an invoice is different from an acknowledgement form. Some people mistake it as a receipt. So you send out an invoice when you're asking money or payment from your client. Okay. Once your client pays that invoice that you sent out, that's when you send out an acknowledgement receipt. Okay. You don't need to have an official receipt, especially if you're if you're a beginner in this career. You can just send them an acknowledgement email saying that we received your payment on this invoice for this invoice number. Okay. But if you want to have like documents such as BIR or tax payments, you want to start paying taxes because maybe you want to travel, you need to get a visa, and one of the things that we need for the visa is proof that we're paying our taxes, then that's when you can already decide to file or register yourself as a sole proprietor and start sending out official receipts. So it's really up to you. But I advise you first at the beginning, you don't have to do that. Okay. Okay. Now, sorry, excuse me. Okay, so now let's go discuss each of the steps. So the first one is sending out your portfolio. Now you can on our last session, I showed you how we can create a portfolio and what you will include in that portfolio. So once you already have that, you can send that out to your potential clients. Maybe you reach them through LinkedIn, through TikTok, through um through Instagram, and just send out your portfolio. Some clients might ask for a resume, some clients might ask just for your LinkedIn page. So it's really up to what your client needs, but all of those will definitely fall under your personal portfolio. You can include your rates in your portfolio, but I personally don't advise you to do so, because you need to have the discovery call first before you send out your final rates. So you can say that the one on your portfolio is your published rates, but you can have like a disclaimer that says rates may change based on the need of the client. Okay? You can also already include your onboarding process, wherein you will show them the client acquisition roadmap from discovery call up to the time that you send out your first invoice. Next process is your discovery call. So with the discovery call, you are going to personalize this based on what research you have done with your client. So since you already sent out your portfolio, you already know who your potential client is. So prior to going into the discovery call, you have to make sure that you did your due diligence or did a quick research about your client, about their business. If you can see their Instagram or their Facebook, you can also check out something about their personal lives. So it's just, you just have to make sure that you are prepared during your discovery call. But during the discovery call also, most of the time your client is the one or your potential client is the one who's going to talk a lot. You are just really there to listen. As the name says, it's discovering who your client is and what your client needs. What you need to focus on is, of course, the pain points of your client. What help do they need from you? Okay. So you have to make sure that you listen closely, but you try to guide your client also in the right direction, because sometimes they get lost in translation, wherein they are already talking about something else, and you're having a hard time finding out what the things that they need help for. So you have to make sure that you just guide them to the right direction for your discovery call. Okay. Later, I'll show you the different questions that you can ask during a discovery call. It's just in a different slide. Next up is sending out your proposal. So based on your discovery call, now that you're done with the discovery call, you're going to write down the goals of your client and the things that they need help with. So once you end the discovery call, you have to tell your potential client that just give me maybe 1 or 2 days as I draft the proposal for you, and then I'll send it out to you, and then we can talk after that. So find out what tasks you're going to focus on. Like, for example, based on their pain points, you're going to focus on inbox management, calendar management, and travel management. So You can also do a little bit of data entry, and whatever your client would need. And then based on that, you are going to provide them with your rate on how much you're asking for. You're going to also include if this is your full-time rate or your part-time rate. So you just have to make sure that you include that in your proposal. You also have to include in your proposal your terms and conditions. That's because it is important to make sure that you are very transparent with your client in terms of what you want, um, so that your client can also make that sound decision and you don't have any issues during the term of your relationship or your working relationship with your client. So at the onset, prior to you starting, you have to make sure that you give all of the necessary information to your client in your proposal. You have to include your rates, your payment terms, and your different payment gateways. Now, why is payment gateways important to be included in your proposal? Because probably your payment gateway is just PayPal. Okay. But your client doesn't know how to use PayPal, or your client hates using PayPal because of the high fees. So your client needs to know that so that they can go back to you and say, can we use a different type of payment gateway? Because your client doesn't use PayPal. So that's why it's important to include that in your proposal. So that prior to you starting with your client, at least you've already fixed your payment portal, because that's where you will receive your pay. You can also include your payment terms. Like for example, if this is somebody who um you got as a direct client and you don't, or you feel like, I'm not sure if this person is going to pay me or not. I might get scammed by this client. So you can put in your terms saying that prior to you starting, they need to make the full payment already, or they need to make 50% payment on before you start your before you start on your first day with them. Okay. So of course you need to make sure that you secure yourself, and you can definitely include that in your in your proposal. Okay. Excuse me. Another thing that you're going to include in your proposal are, of course, your leave, or your paid time off. So you can include there how many days a year you can ask for a paid time off or a paid sick leave. uh your client can definitely negotiate. Like for example, you can put 15 days, and then your client says, can we just do it 10 instead of 15, blah blah blah. So you just have to make sure that you include it there. Another thing that's a very important that I always remind everyone is to also include the rate increase or the fee increase in your proposal or in your terms and conditions. Because one of the most common questions that I see online is them asking, how can I've been working for my client for 2 years already and they've never given me an increase. How can I ask my client for an increase? So it's a very, very was this hard to do that, especially if you're working with a foreigner, and especially if it's your first time as a remote worker. So for you to be able to avoid having a hard time asking for an increase, you can already include that in your proposal. Now in the proposal there is a what's this date. I forget the correct term. But there is an end date for each proposal. So when you propose, for example, you will include in your proposal the time frame. There you go. The time frame of your contract. Like this contract will be good for 6 months. Okay. And then after 6 months, if you would like to renew the contract, there is already a 10% increase to the rate. Or if you have a 1-year contract, you're going to say to your client that you in your proposal that your rate increases after 1 year, let's say X amount or X percentage. Okay. Your client can definitely still negotiate. Maybe she can say, can we negotiate this rate to a lower rate or something like that? So, but you have to make sure that it's in your proposal so that your client can already, or your client already expects that at the end of your 1 year service, you are going to have a rate increase. Okay. So you don't have the problem of, how can I write the email? How can I say to my client that, it's been 1 year already. You might want to give me an increase. It what's this? It makes it easier for you since it's already black and white in your contract. Okay. So you have to include that there. Now, like I mentioned earlier, this is where the negotiation happens with sending out the proposal. So it might take probably a few days or maybe a week or a little bit more if your client what's this has a lot of things that they want to negotiate. So yeah, this is the part where it takes quite some time to finish. Now, once you're done with the proposal and your client says, okay, this proposal is good, we've negotiated everything, now is the time to send out. During this process, you also send out the final proposal, which is already your contract. Send that out, make sure your client signs. Once your client signs the contract, then you proceed with your onboarding call. Okay. Now, during the onboarding call, this is when you and your client what's this talk about the first few tasks that you're going to do for them. Now, during your discovery call, you already found out everything that your client wants to happen, all of their goals for their business or their personal lives. You already know everything, but you cannot do all of those things all at the same time as soon as you start. So during your onboarding call, you have to identify, or you and your client needs to identify which are the top 3 or 5 tasks that you can begin with. Okay. It's and you have to make sure that you make do with those 3 or 5 first tasks, because that's going to um stand as the first impression in terms of how you do your work. Okay. So that's what you're going to do during the onboarding call. The next thing that you're going to do during the onboarding call is for your client to provide you access to all of the tools and platforms that you are going to use throughout your working relationship. Now, what are those tools? If they're going to give you access to their emails, then you need to make sure that you log into that email while you're on your onboarding call. If you need to have access to their credit cards, their calendars, their social media platforms, you need to be able to log in to all of those platforms or tools already during your onboarding call. Why? Because some of those logins would require an OTP or a code that your client will receive. So it will take you a long time if you're going to do it offline, because sometimes your client might be busy. So when you send out the login, the OTP, your client will reply after an hour and the OTP already expires or expired. So some OTPs only last for 20 seconds, some lasts for 20 minutes. So you have to make sure that you do all of these things already during your onboarding call. Okay. And then that's it. Onboarding call usually takes about maybe 15 to 30 minutes depending on um what's this how many tools you need to access and all of those things. Now with the logins, you just have to make sure that you use what's this a password sharing platform such as LastPassword or 1Password, so that you have everything there easily recorded. And then your client can also share their bank information through those different platforms. Okay. And last but definitely not the least, once you're done with your onboarding call, then you will already set your um was this your start date? So once you're done with the maybe first 2 weeks, then you're going to send out your invoice. Now you just have to make sure that you send out your invoice a few days before the due date. So for example, your term, based on your contract, your pay should always be settled on the 15th and 30th of each month. So during the 10th of each month, you have to make sure that you already sent out your invoice. Why? So that your client can already prepare their payment so that they can send it to you maybe before the 15th, so they have that time to settle the payment. I forgot to inform you guys that you should also include, in your proposal, you should also include late payment fees. Okay. So for example, your due date is on the 15th. You sent out your invoice on the 10th. When you sent out your invoice on the 10th, you have to make sure that you send it out every day up until the 15th. Okay. So that your client doesn't have an excuse that they were not notified. Okay. So you send it out every day for the next 5 days up until the 15th. And then just to make sure that you remind them that if they decide to pay late, then there is a late fee. If they pay you on the 16th, they have to pay you with the additional late fee already. Okay. Well, um Okay. Make sure that in your invoice also, it should just not include your hours as well as the total amount due. It should also include already your payment gateways, so that your client doesn't need to ask, where can I pay you? What's your bank account? Your invoice should already include that. So they don't have an excuse to say, oh, I wasn't able to send it out because your bank account is not here. Okay. Okay, so that's your, sorry, excuse me. That's your invoice. Okay. Well, so that's the end of the whole, what's this? Client acquisition roadmap that we have. So this is the only process that you will have to focus on. Okay. And then after that, you just repeat again from working and then sending invoice, working, sending invoice, working, sending invoice. You have to make sure that once you receive the payment, you just send them your acknowledgement email. So send in your questions. So while I am, what's this? Opening the other file. I can answer your questions. What is linking fee? Linking fee meron? I don't know what linking fee is. Bench, okay, sure, I'll send you an email. Hold on. Oops. One of my client asks for it when I asked for payment, linking fee. Oh my gosh, I don't know what a linking fee is. Let's search. Does anybody here know what a linking fee is? Oh, I think it's Linking fee and PayPal. We have a question here. Since Athena is for the Philippines, what do we recommend for those who are not in the Philippines? Um, hmm. Right now, the only thing that I can recommend is look for a direct client because I can't remember if there's any of the agencies that I know who are open to hiring. Oh, you know what? Athena is open to hiring because uh we do have hires or EAs from India and Kenya. It was just announced, I think, last meeting. Go to athenago.com and check out the openings because I know there are openings in different countries as well in Athena. I believe the linking fee is $5, but once verified, the amount will be returned. So there you go. Yeah, I think that's the one on PayPal because that's the one I saw on Google search. Okay, hold on. I'm just pulling up. Okay, so I was just looking at the create your profile webinar and I wasn't able to discuss the details of the assets. Okay, so we're going to discuss that today. Hold on. Mm. Create your proposal and contracts, discovery call, onboarding call, service invoice. Okay. Okay. I was charged by PayPal when I linked my. Probably that's why. Okay, sorry. Let me share my screen. Oh, no, 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 no. Sorry. Hold on. So we're going to talk about the details of the contracts because that's important. Mhm. Okay, can you see my screen that says proposal and contract? Perfect. But let me see. We have one more question. Will that be okay if a newbie will charge them late fees? Yes, of course. It will be okay. They won't be offended, or it should be discussed when you talk about payments or salary. You can put that on your proposal, the payment, what's this? The, what's that? Late fee. Okay. And if you're a newbie or if this is the first time that you're going to look for a client, you can already do whatever it is that a 10-year executive assistant is putting on their contract because you have to make sure that of course you have to protect yourself and your work and your business and your time and your efforts, so you just have to make sure that you include that there. Is this the same in Code Go? No, Code Go is a more detailed what's this training. Okay, so Do you have available contracts for freelancers? Yes, I can show you how we can do that. But let's go through the details of your contract. Yes, so basically in your proposal, you should have the introduction of what this work is about, a little bit about you and what you're going to do for your client. And then you have the description of services, like I mentioned, just include if you're going to do inbox, calendar, travel, and all of those things. And then, like I mentioned, also you have to include your time frame or how long this contract lasts. Is it a 6-month contract, 3-month contract, 1-year contract? And then are you going to renew after that? Next thing that you're going to include, of course, is your pricing. How much are your services for? Is it full time? Is it part time? Is it hourly? Is it monthly? Next up is your payment terms. So, like I mentioned also, this is where you will indicate the dates you should be paid and the amount of, or on each of the due dates. If it's, are you going to be paid on a weekly basis? Is it 2 times a month? Is it once a month? Are you going to be paid uh, before services are rendered or after services are rendered? And will you be asking for a down payment? So you should include that in your proposal. Next thing that you will include is your yearly increase. This will make things easier for you, so that you don't have to have a hard time asking for an increase for with your client. Next is your paid time off. This is something that your client might negotiate, but at least they already know what your paid time offs are. You don't actually, I've been working as an executive assistant for 2 years. I have asked for leaves from my client, but most of the time, since our job is, work from anywhere, um, if I'm just going on a vacation and I'll just be lying down in a beach and beside the beach and do nothing, I rarely don't ask for paid time off anymore. So I only do that if, for example, I plan to really drink and get drunk. Um, that's when I ask for paid time offs because I won't be able to do my work what's this correctly. Next up is your deliverables. So you just have to make sure that um, you detail everything that you're going to do for your client. Last but definitely not the least on your proposal is your communication. So is it going to be WhatsApp, email, Slack, um, what's this messenger? So you can include already all of the links to your different messaging platforms so that they can access you or they can reach you on those messaging platforms that you are using. Next one is what you're going to include in your service contract. Now, for your service contract, of course, is your terms and conditions. What would be in your terms and conditions, just like what's in your proposal, you can put it there. Later, we'll show you how to do that. What's the difference between the proposal and your terms and conditions or your contract are these items that we're going to talk about in the following next slides. So first is confidentiality and data protection. So this just outlines that the virtual assistant's obligation to protect the client's confidential information and data is you are protecting it. That you are saying here that you will make sure that all of your clients' information remains confidential. Next is intellectual property. Now, this is where, if, for example, you're doing social media for your client, it just states here that whatever output that you provide will be either owned by you or owned by your client. Next is termination and cancellation. Of course, you have to include here how many days or weeks your client or you have to inform in advance before you decide to terminate or cancel your working relationship. Last but definitely not the least is liability and indemnification. This is the section that outlines the virtual assistant's liability and indemnification obligations in case of any damages or losses caused by the virtual assistant. This is also this is the legal part of your contract, wherein, for example, you get to a point where you lost what's this you lost your you ruined, let's say, your client's calendar, or you deleted all of your clients' emails, something that you caused harm in your client's business. And this is where it will state who whose government will preside over if the client decides to sue you or you decide to sue your client. That's because you both are working in different parts of the world and are under different parts of the labor code. Like, you have your US labor code and then your Philippine labor code. So liability and indemnification part will say which government laws or labor code will be followed in case you're going to sue each other. Okay. Oh, sorry. Thank you for saying that, Aaron Paul. How to find clients on Yelp. Okay, let's go back to Yelp before this is the last part of the create the proposal. Before we proceed to discovery call and onboarding call, let me show you Yelp. Thank you for reminding me. Thank you. Hold on. Let me open my screen. Where is that? Okay. Yep. Okay. Can you guys see my Google screen? Can you guys see Google on screen? Google search. Is it a yes? Yes, perfect. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to search for Yelp. And then this is what's going to show. Click on Yelp. Okay. You can create your account, or you can sometimes search even if you don't have an account. But it's best to create an account so that you can save your searches. So, for example, we're looking for San Francisco, California. Let's say your target is chefs. So look for private chefs. There. So here you see the different chefs in the area. Okay. You can see their numbers. So you have your numbers here. Now, when you're searching, the initial searches that will come up are those sponsored searches. Okay. There. You have to go down. You can check them out also. Since they can pay for their post to be sponsored, then for sure they have money. Okay. But you have to go down until you see the searches that has numbers. Okay, because these are the chefs that you can find on the map. Okay, if you want if you want to know where they are. But if you're just generally searching, let's say in San Francisco, and then you search in New York and whatever, then all you need to do is just search wherever. Okay. So next thing that you're going to do is, for example, we want this chef, Garbo's personal chef service. Click on that. And then you have to make sure that, okay, so this is a good example. This business is unclaimed. So if it's unclaimed, don't don't connect with this one. Okay. It's very important to make sure that it's claimed. Why? Because with the setup of Yelp, if Yelp finds out that there is an existing business that's called Garbo's personal chef service, they will already create a profile for that so that people can review this business. And it's up to, for example, I'm the one who owns this business. It's really up to me if I want to claim this or not. Okay? There. Why is it important to find something or a profile that's claimed? Because it will make it will assure you that the information, contact information is correct. Okay? So since this is unclaimed, let's not connect with that. Let's check out the heirloom chef. There. See, this one is claimed. So it means that all of the contact information here is correct, and this profile is managed by the business owner. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to open their website. And then here you can already check out what they are about. You see here that they have a team. Probably these are the team of different chefs that they have. Yeah, here. So this is what I was talking about with the chefs in the US. They sometimes have, what's this? A group of chefs working in a company, and you can hire these chefs if you'd like to have a private dining experience in your home for a special occasion and all of those things. I usually book private chefs for my client. You have to also understand in the US, most of what's this? Westerners, they don't really have like the help like us here. We can usually hire what's this? A nanny or a house help. In the US, if you hire a nanny, they also work for you 8 to 5 regular working hours. They're just really like hiring an employee. Um, Not compared to us here in the Philippines. It's quite different. So being a nanny or a house help in the US is just like a regular 8 to 5 job. Same goes for chefs. So they usually just cook for themselves or they go out in a restaurant. So some of them, if they are very rich, which most of our clients are, will hire chefs on a um, daily or maybe every weekend. That's why being a chef is a very good business also in the US. So what you're going to do is you're going to just look for their contact. And here you can already send them or engage to them. What you can do here is to just like pretend to be a client first, get to know their services, get to know what they are all about, who their chefs are. So because you would like to engage first, and don't you cannot just send them what's this a proposal through this email platform that they have. Okay. So all you have to do is engage first and pretend to be a client. And then since they will reply to you, once you already have their email address, then you can already send out your what's this proposal. Okay. And then you can also check out their reviews so that you can see sometimes if they have negative reviews. For example, this 1 star, you can look at their negative reviews and see what you can do or how you can help them resolve this negative review as their virtual assistant. Okay, there. And then you can search different. During my Code Go class, one of the students, or their specialty or their previous work experience is with I think they have a family business, a funeral parlor business. So we were trying, she told me like, how can I look for clients in the funeral parlor or mortuary industry? We tried searching in Instagram and we couldn't see anyone. So we searched in on Yelp, funeral parlor. Mm. And see, you have different funeral parlors already here. You can check this one out and then you can reach out to them, and if you have a background in the funeral parlor or mortuary industry, then this is something, or this is a untapped target market or untapped market that you can target as your potential client. Some of the funeral parlors or mortuary in the US are usually family owned. So it's very nice to, to reach out to them, especially again, if you have a background in this industry, because they will definitely, probably need a lot of help from a virtual assistant. Okay. Okay, so that's Yelp for you. Again, thank you so much for whoever reminded me about Yelp. But yeah, make use of Yelp. If it doesn't work for you, and make sure that you're using Google Chrome. If it's not working on your internet, just try installing Windscribe on your, let me just show you. It's a Windscribe there. Windscribe extension. There you go. So just add this to your Chrome as a Google Chrome extension so that you can start using it as your VPN. Okay. Yes, Joanne, go ahead. Okay, so let's go back to our presentation. Hold on. We have a few more left. Just discovery call and onboarding call. Oh, hold on. Okay, can you see my screen that says discovery call? Perfect. Okay. So, I already was this described to you what a discovery call is. So let's just proceed to the things that you have to ask your client during your discovery call. The first thing that you can ask, of course, is you may ask the client about their business. So ask them about giving you an idea of what their business is, what they do on a day-to-day basis, how the business works, and all of those things. Once you already have an idea of what the business, you can ask about the goals and the objectives that your client has, not just for the business, but for their life as a whole, because they might have a business but their objective is more of, I want my business to automate itself so that my goal is to have more time with the family but still making sure that my business is working. So that might be their goal. So their goal should not, when you ask about their goals and their objectives, it should not only revolve around their business, it should be as a whole. Next is ask them also what they need help with or what their pain points are. Why are they interested in hiring a virtual assistant? Now, if this is a client who you sent out a proposal to, then they might not know what their pain points are, or they might not know what things they need help with. So you just, based on how they describe their business and what their goals and objectives are, you can be the one to tell them how you can help them. Okay. That's why you have to really listen carefully about how they describe their business and their goals and their objectives. Next thing that you should ask your client is, of course, their method of communication and working. Do they like using Slack, WhatsApp, Telegram, Discord? Just so you can, you know how to maintain constant communication with them. Next, of course, is their budget for your virtual assistant services. Just so you have a ballpark idea of what their budget is, so that if it's you can also adjust your rates based on their budget. But if their budget is so low, of course you have to set their expectation and say, based on the budget that you just mentioned, I think that budget only falls for a part-time role and just a few skills to be used. But if you want this type of help, if you want the different tasks that I need to do for you, then you need to have a higher, you need to adjust your budget. You should always be transparent with your client like that. And do not be scared to tell your clients that those are your rates. Okay, what's very important for us general VAs or an executive virtual assistant is what we call executive presence. Executive presence is showing your client that you are on the same level with your client. It's very important because most of the time you will be the one guiding your client on what to do. Okay, so you have to show them that you are on the same level. Remember when I mentioned earlier that this is not, you cannot have an employee mindset in this type of industry. What's this? This is, you have to show your client that they're hiring you because you're a professional and they need your help. Okay, and even if you have the term assistant, you are still on the same level because this is your expertise. Okay, so you cannot be shy in telling them what you need, how much you're worth. You have to make sure that you show them, that you make them feel that you are on the same level so that they can, or you can gain their respect. Next thing that you're going to ask or you're going to talk about is hours of work. Are you going to follow Eastern Standard, Pacific, or are you going to work after their working hours or during their working hours? So you just have to clear that out. You may also discuss your own skills and experiences. You can already have a quick introduction during the beginning. But most of the time during a discovery call, your client is the one who's going to talk more compared to you. Because again, this is the point, or this is the time that you're getting to know your client. This is the other questions that you can ask your client. I think I already mentioned that there. So what is your greatest personal and business struggle today? So this is you just asking what their pain points are. Oh, there, you can also ask them, are you looking for a full-time or part-time VA? Another follow-up question on this one is, you can ask them if they already hired a virtual assistant before. And then from there, you can also ask, why don't you have a virtual assistant anymore, or why did they resign, and all of those things. Now, how are you going to prepare for your discovery call? Of course, you have to research about your client, be a stalker prior to the discovery call so that you are prepared, and you have an idea, or you already have an idea what your client is talking about. It will be easier for you to understand what your clients problems are, or potential pain points or struggles, if you already did your initial research prior to the discovery call. Oh, sorry, I forgot. Before, you can actually also ask, or it's a very good practice to also ask your client to provide you with links to their website and their social media pages prior to the discovery call date. So for because definitely before the discovery you will tell them, I've already sent out the calendar invite on our call. In preparation for our call, can you provide me with your company website and social media pages so that I can do my initial research about your company. Next, after the discovery call, what you're going to do is, based on what you learned, you are going to prepare your proposal. Okay. And then your proposal should always be unique for each of your potential clients. I've been hearing a lot of people online, or a number of people online, saying that they create just one proposal and send it to multiple clients. It cannot be like that. A proposal should always be unique based on what your clients or your potential clients needs are. So it's different. It differs from client to client. So you can't have what's this same proposal as anyone else. Later I will show you how we can create proposals, and then I will show you also how you can create your contract. So that's discovery call. Now we're going to proceed with onboarding call, and then I'll show you how to create a contract and a proposal. It's very easy, guys. You will be shocked how easy it is to create a contract and a proposal. What? Why is this? Sorry, hold on. There. Okay. Okay. Can you see on my screen it says onboarding call? Where's the chat box? Perfect. Okay. So this is very quick. I think it's just what's this one page. So we already described what an onboarding call is. This is when you meet your client to already talk about the first few tasks that you're going to do, and as well as the logins. So what you have is your onboarding checklist. So the first thing that you will do is you will provide links to your Google Drive or Dropbox folders. And this Google Drive is what you will be using for all of your shared files and documents all throughout your working relationship with your client. You can be the one to provide this, or your client can be the one to provide this if they have a Google Business Suite or something that they will provide you. Next is to double check that they have shared access to all of their calendars, their inbox, tools, and platforms that you will be using. And then make sure that you discuss the top 3 tasks that you will be starting with, 3 to 5 tasks that you will be starting with. This is one thing that's very important during your onboarding call as well, is to create a recurring event in both of your calendars for a weekly catch up, or maybe a bi-weekly catch up for the next 4 weeks or for the next month or 2 months. This is very important, especially at the beginning of your relationship with your client, because this is your chance, or during your weekly catch up or during your catch up, this is when you can ask your client for feedback based on the number of output that you already provided your client. It's very important for you to ask a lot of feedback at the beginning of your relationship, because this is where you can improve, or this is the chance that you can improve your processes and your output. because you have to understand some of the output that you will create, your client might not like that type of output. They might like a different type of layout when you're providing them with a list of recommendations. So it's very important that your client provides you with feedback. And don't hesitate to ask. I think I included that in when you're creating an email for your client, like the um it's in my online course, writing a professional email. I included there that at the end of each email, especially if the email includes an output, is to always ask your client to provide you with feedback on how, if they like your output or if they want a different type of output or layout from you. Okay, because without feedback you're not going to improve. If you're and it's if your client, how do I say it, most of our clients are very busy. That's why they hire virtual assistants. So sometimes they will definitely forget to give you feedback, especially if they're the type of clients who's not very vocal. Or they're very nice and they will just like say, oh, okay, and whatever. So you should be the one to initiate the feedback conversation. Okay. Because again, without feedback, you're just assuming that your client likes everything that you are creating or you're providing to them, when in fact they don't like what you're doing anymore. They're just not saying it to you. And then it's going to end up wherein your client will just let you go out of the blue, and you are clueless as to what happened when you thought everything was what's this happy with your relationship. Since you're not asking for feedback, you didn't know that you were already, or your client is already having issues with what you're doing. So always ask for feedback. That's why it's important during your onboarding call to already schedule and create a recurring calendar event for your catch up. This is also when you're going to add each other on all of your messaging platforms. Make sure that you are able to send out messages right there during the onboarding call in the different messaging platforms that you're going to use. Next up, of course, is you're going to set up your LastPass or your 1Password account so that your client can already share all of their logins and their financial details on this platform. Okay. So while I'm preparing the sample for contract and proposal, do you have any questions? Where is that? There. None. None yet. Okay, perfect. So let us proceed with the contract. Okay, can you see my screen? Google Drive. Yes, perfect. Okay. So for your contract, it's very easy. All you have to do is go to your Google Drive and then click on New, go to Google Docs, and then click on Form a Template. And then all you have to do is scroll down. This is created by Upwork. See, independent contractor agreement by Upwork. This is specifically for freelancers. All you have to do is click on that document. The first thing that you will see is the instructions on how to use this document. And then there's a reminder that you have to remove this page before you send out your contract to your client. And here we already have your independent contractor agreement. All you have to do is change or update the names and the dates, the address, And then you have here your service, consideration, and compensation. Here you can add your payment terms, you can add your paid time offs and all of those things. Everything that we discussed that's not here, you can add it here. You also have your NDA. When we do this, we no longer what's this edit the NDA. We just really use chat. You really use what's here. You also have your confidentiality agreement, and then you have your indemnification and release, as well as insurance and other requirements that's here, termination, independent contractor clause, and then any other general agreement that is included. You can review all of this and see if this is the thing that you need or you want to add more, or if you want to delete anything else. So that's how easy it is to create that. What's this? Uh, Independent contractor agreement or your contract. Okay. Now, with creating your proposal, I think I used this in here. I used this in my previous training with Code Goals. So it says here, all you have to do is create a proposal applying for an executive virtual assistant position. So Chat GPT will create the proposal for you. Now, if you want this to be more like, remember I mentioned that it should be unique to your client's need. What you're going to do is create a proposal for a job opening below, and then copy and paste the job opening or the job posting on the profile, or probably on Upwork or OLJ, and then paste it here. If not, you can make it more detailed. Create a proposal for a funeral parlor that when using Chat GPT, you have to be the one to tell him what to do. Okay? Tell Chat GPT that you are this, you are this, you are that. So you can even change it to say, you are an executive virtual assistant based in the Philippines. You have a potential client in the funeral parlor industry. You are create a proposal to this funeral parlor to hire you as their virtual assistant. Your skills are data management, inbox, and calendar management. And there you have it. You can also include here your previous experience. There. And then send this out to them already. You can edit it a little bit. You can say, add my previous experience in different funeral parlors here in the Philippines, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Anything that is in connection with what you're applying for, you can just tell Chat GPT to create it for you. Okay. Same goes for your contractor agreement. If you don't want to use the one on Google Docs, you can also have ChatGPT create an independent contractor agreement for you. Okay. All you have to do is provide ChatGPT with the prompt. Okay. So, yep, that's it for our session for today. I hope you guys learned a lot, especially those who are also on YouTube. And of course, our people here on Zoom. Before we end, do you have any questions that you would like to discuss based on what you learned? And this is the last webinar, live webinar for this year. You will find the recording of this webinar in a few hours on our YouTube channel. Thank you so much. We will have another set of free webinars next year, but nothing already for this year. Oh, and by the way, for those who is interested to enroll in my paid online course, which is a more detailed version of our 5-day webinar. It has 16 modules, 16 hours worth of video tutorials. It's self-paced, lifetime access. It's currently on sale right now from 1,499. You can now purchase it at 599. So we are on a flash sale. The flash sale will end on October 31. So if you're interested, just go to the link in any of my link in bio or any of my social media platforms. And then if you are outside of the Philippines, you can purchase it via PayPal. It's also currently on sale from $30 US. It's now $15 US. Again, all you have to do is click the link in the bio of any of my social media platforms. So yeah, if you are just interested in purchasing the paid online course, there, what's this? Tracy sent out the link on our Zoom chat. But of course, we still have our free content on YouTube. So if you don't have a budget yet, YouTube is still for free for you. But if you want a more detailed course, self-paced, you can enroll right now while it's on sale. So it looks like I started following on YT. All your tips make sense. And thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And thank you to all our viewers from outside of the Philippines. I really, really appreciate you guys. It's very humbling that our content are reaching outside of our country. It's very nice that we are able to help not just our fellow Filipinos, but even our even others outside of the Philippines. I'm very, very happy that you guys are here. I know we have someone from Jamaica, Nigeria, Malawi. So thank you everyone. Pag naka-enroll lifetime, yes, lifetime na siya. Ayan. So thank you guys. I'm not going to keep you guys anymore or any longer. I know it's a Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your week. Is the entire course in English? Yes, the entire course is in English. That's because we do have followers who enrolled in the course who are not Filipinos. So yes, everything is in English. So thank you, everyone. Enjoy your Sunday. And again, if you'd like to watch the recording, you can always go to my YouTube channel and rewatch our recording. So guys, enjoy your weekend. Happy Sunday, guys. Have a great day. Goodbye, everyone. Nagkaka F2F pa kayo. Ano yun? Ano yung Tracy? Ano yung question mo, Tracy? Oh, face to face. Oh, sorry. So we have a question. magkaka face to face. So are we going to have live webinars or live seminars? Thank you for asking. Yes, on January 27, 2024, it's going to be my first ever live seminar, which will be at Creator Hub. That's near Mega Mall, but it's a very small venue, so it can only fit up to 40 participants, 40. So very limited. I haven't opened the purchase of the tickets yet, but I'm definitely going to announce in advance prior to me opening sales of the live seminar. Um I'm just finalizing the topic and the presentation. So, yep, we're going to see if you are in Manila. We are going to see each other hopefully on January 27. And then after that, if it's a very successful event, I'm going to go around the Philippines in different provinces to do live seminars as well. So if you are from outside of Manila, probably from Cebu, Bacolod, Davao, Batangas, where else? I'm also thinking Siargao, Surigao, Bohol, all of those things. I'd like La Union, yes, definitely La Union, Baguio. I plan to really go around the Philippines. Um, if our seminar in yes, Cebu is definitely on the list. If that live seminar on January 27 is a big success, then we're going to go around teaching everybody how to become a successful executive virtual assistant. So there you go. A lot of EAs. Yes, a lot of EAs all over the Philippines. So yeah, I'm not gonna keep you again any longer. Enjoy your Sunday. Thank you for giving me 2 hours of your time. Have a great day, everyone. Tracy, again, thank you so much, Tracy. Tracy is our official social media manager. So thank you, of course, Tracy, for another amazing Sunday. Thank you, guys. You have a great day. Thank you, everyone. Bye. I'll end this na. Bye-bye. Magkaka-workbook ba ulit? Yes. Yung ebook natin, yung workbook, may mga questions pa pala. Yes, we do have a workbook. I'm preparing the volume 2 of our workbook. The workbook consists of different sample scenarios from, let's say, our client or your client, that you will be able to use to practice your skills and the tools that you need as an executive virtual assistant. The first workbook or the volume 1 consists of inbox management and calendar management. The second volume will consist of, I think, travel management and household management. So I'm going to announce once that's ready. Medyo busy lang tayo for the end of the year. But yes, I am currently creating the volume 2 of our workbook. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. You have a great Sunday. Bye. Oh, yes, sorry. Volume 1. Yes. Tracy, sorry. Can you please remind me? I wasn't able to send it also last week. Please remind me to send this to all of our participants today. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Yes, Tracy will remind me. Tracy will get mad at me if I don't send it to you guys. Yes, I will send it. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Enjoy your Sunday. Bye.